again. It's a rich thing.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. The Tuesday just gone, my mum and I went to London because Jacob and I, my fiance and I, had a wedding ring appointment, which was very exciting. So my mum came along, which was really sweet. But before our appointment, we had a bit of a morning day out and we went to Marylebone and went to a cafe, or actually it's a cafe slash bar. I think it turns into a bar in the evenings, called 31 Below, and had breakfast there. It was lovely. We both had eggs and spinach. Yeah, it was really nice, and some tea. You can't start the day without tea, so I had a green tea and my mum had an Earl Grey. Then decided to walk from Marylebone all the way to our appointment, which was in Holborn. And if you don't know London, that's a very long way. It was probably like a 50-minute walk. And I decided to wear some boots that had a heel that day. I always do this, I swear. And kept them on and was like, yep, I'm happy to walk in them. My mum noticed that I started limping and I was quite struggling. And she goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not actually. I'm not okay." But anyway, I pushed through because I had no choice and got there with my feet were killing. But hey, it was fun. We had a good time. And yeah, and then we went for our appointment. It was, oh my gosh, I've never been to this area, but there's a place in Holborn. There's a street full of diamond shops. The studio actually was an ethical jewelry store that I found online, and they do recycled gold rings and ethical gold rings. And yeah, so that's how I found them. I found them online, and they're called Lebruson Studios, I think they're called. I'll link them below. But they do such beautiful jewelry. So when I reached out to book an appointment, because you had to book one, they told us that they're inside this diamond bureau. So yeah, when we got there, it was very high security. It was like in the films when you sort of have to walk into like a little hallway, wait for that first door to close in order for that second door to open. So it was my mum, my boyfriend, my fiance, myself, and the lady who we had the appointment with, all locked up in that little room and waiting for the door to open, which was quite funny. But anyway, yeah, it was a very, very nice experience. And the lady, yeah, she was so sweet. She was really funny and was so patient with us and showed us all their rings. We placed the order yesterday, which was like, oh, exciting, but also like, oh my gosh, it was so much money, but hey ho, you've got to do it. And it wasn't actually too bad to think about it for wedding rings. It was fine, and it's all ethical and sustainable, which of course I love. So we've got to now wait 8 weeks for those rings to be made. Excited to see what that will look like. As soon as we got home, I crashed. I was like, my feet were ready to explode. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't bear it. But anyway, I feel much better now. They're still a bit swollen and lots of blisters around, but hey, it was worth it. So hope you enjoyed those little clips. What else have I been up to lately? So after that, we've had some quiet days. Weather's finally cleared up and we finally have some sunshine. Summer has decided to come to the UK finally. Here we are, so really enjoying it. I went to the library yesterday. As you can see, I think I mentioned it in my last video, how tiny this library was. And as you can see, it was so small. But I really like it, and I ended up getting The Tattooist of Auschwitz. I'm already 3 chapters in, and I'm like already almost in tears. It's just horrible, honestly horrible. Reading about that time in history, and it's just awful. But again, it's Heather Morris, I think that's the author's name, just captures everything in such detail. I'm really enjoying it because obviously it's a very good series on at the moment, and I don't want to watch the series before having read the book, so I'm doing that now. And but 2 other series, well, they're not a series, they're film. Actually, no, it is a series that I have watched recently and that I did enjoy, was Eric. I'm not sure if any of you guys have watched it. If you have, do let me know in the comments below, because we binged through that in one sitting. Like, I'm not kidding you. My mum put it on and she was like, I think you'll really enjoy this. And I said, okay. So I went downstairs and I was like, okay, let's give this a go while I eat my food. Ended up going from lunchtime through till the evening because we just did not move as we sat through the entire series. But oh my God, Benedict, you'll laugh. I always call him Benedict Cucumber Patch from like a meme years ago, and it's stuck in my head. So every time I see him, I'm like, oh yeah, it's Benedict Cucumber Patch. But obviously that's not his surname, it's Benedict Cumberbatch. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about, Cucumber Patch. He does amazing in this role, and it's just brilliant. Like such a good series. Thoroughly recommend if you haven't watched it. So if you want to see him in action, give it a watch. We watched another film the next day, which was terrible. It actually it started quite well, but then it went absolutely downhill, and it's called Below Paris. It's rubbish. Don't even bother. Honestly, it's it's awful. It started so well. It was about trying to help sharks, basically, and then they find that the species which they're trying to track has grown tripled almost in size in a matter of days. So the scientist or researcher that finds this can't quite believe it and is like, why is this happening? And then all of a sudden she realizes that it's a new breed of sharks, and they're like these huge sharks that all of a sudden take over Paris. And I was like, what is going on? Like, seriously, it just, I didn't enjoy it. And then the ending, sorry, but you're not going to watch it, so you might as well listen through this film. But by the end, it just doesn't resolve what the whole story was about. It's like, you see, they're all now trying to kill these sharks. But in the process of trying to kill her, they obviously use grenades and explosions. They break through Paris's water system, and everything floods. All of Paris floods. Sorry, I find it hilarious because it's just so surreal. And then you find the main character just on top of this bus stop or whatever it is, with the male actor who obviously she falls in love with, and then the shark is just swimming around them like this, the Godzilla of the shark just swimming around them, and you're like, sorry, but it was a bit of a ridiculous film. I don't know, we were like, why did we waste our time watching this? But yeah, it was funny. If you want to laugh, still don't watch it. go watch a comedy instead. That's pretty much it. Okay, I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna try and make a recipe by Julius Roberts. I love his style of cooking, his ethos behind his food, and yeah, I've been following him for a while, so I've saved a few of his recipes and I'm going to try and make one today, so hopefully it will turn out just as good. Okay, so I've just tossed in some sausages from Aldi in infused oil that we had here, made out of peppers, and these are the sausages. So I'm just going to let them fry for a few minutes. then got some butter beans and cannellini beans, which I'm going to use together. Because on his post he mentions that you can basically throw in whatever you find or substitute some of the ingredients for other things, I'm going to throw in some capers that are left over in the fridge, so why not? He also said to use a glass of white wine or beer, but I didn't have either, so substituting with some vodka. Just a bit of a random outro. We're going to go and do some washing. We still haven't got a washing machine, but we're going to go to the laundromat and do it there. So goodbye from me for now, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've made it this far, please do subscribe, like, do that whole thing. It really means a lot, and if you leave a comment, even better. I love chatting to you guys. So thank you for watching.